functional hierarchy.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is that it was anything but a united front. And then you have Enlil,
Yeah.
who was responsible for the biblical flood of Noah, who simply chose to drown humanity because we made too much noise. Okay?
So, okay.
Imagine what he would do to us today. Because we do a lot more than make noise now, you know.
Okay.
So it's you know, there were clearly issues, and I think in one respect we can be extremely grateful for the things that we had been taught, the knowledge that we had been given at that point, as far as farming and horticulture, engineering, astronomy. I mean, there's a lot of things that we can be thankful for.
Yeah.
But there are also some things that we were taught that I really felt we should have discarded and threw away, you know, thousands of years ago.
Yeah.
But for some reason, we have held on to it, or it's persisted, such as warfare, religions, and the such. Those are things we should have discarded a long time ago.
Okay.
So are all of the Anunnaki dark and evil? No, they're not. Again, ultimately, you know, when you're talking about all the extraterrestrial races, there are things that we can learn from them, but at the same time, it's also necessary for us to be open to the lessons.
Yeah, sure.
To also be able to stand on our own and make those choices ourselves. Can we use this? Can we use it benevolently? And can we be responsible with it? Whether it's a philosophy or a technology.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And that's the key thing here, is being responsible ourselves for it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we adopt it and use it, we are responsible for the creation of what becomes of it.
Exactly, yes.
Okay? And that's important. You know, when I go back to the question that I asked Morne and Visayas at one point, you know, what's to become of us? And they said to become totally responsible and free to unconditionally be responsible for ourselves without being coerced to accept some higher authority.
Yeah.
And that's the ultimate lesson here.
Mm-hmm.
We can't continue to blame others for things that we choose to focus on and create in our reality.
Yes, that's right.
So, okay.
Actually,
number two. Go ahead.
I have a little question inside of it.
Okay, speak into the phone.
Yeah, it's a point of view that some kind of group, I don't actually remember what group was it. I don't remember if it was from Sirius or Pleiadians that I read in some book that said that they actually didn't. They have not give us the knowledge, or all the knowledge and all the wisdom that we need to evolve, because they see in us that we are not responsible for that kind of knowledge, because that kind of knowledge takes a bigger responsibility from us. And there's a position that they got to know, to say, to don't say anything else until they see in us a change in our consciousness, to take a responsibility when we actually know that we can create a reality that we want. And they say in that text, I think it was a book from Barbara Hanklow, that says that they didn't tell us the knowledge to how create reality because they won't help us when we know how does it work, I don't know what is your opinion about this point of view of that Pleiadian group.
Well, I've been bitterly attacked for some of the things that I have shared from the A's regarding our history with the Pleiadians. And I want to be on the record as saying is that all these different races have different subgroups and subcultures within them that are not all necessarily evolving at the same pace.
Okay.
Are all the Pleiadians benevolent? No, they're not. Are they all malevolent? No, they're not. Are some very indifferent to what occurs here on Earth? Yes, some could care less. And some are concerned and have some empathy towards us. And then there are other groups who would actually do whatever they could to just, for whatever their own personal reasons are, want to see us struggle and have a difficult time.
Mm-hmm.
And, again, these are all either just philosophies and maybe humanity just reflects back to them some part of themselves that they don't like and don't want to deal with. Because we're all kind of mirrors for each other.
Yeah.
And the same can be said for the A's and other groups. There are small pockets of groups there that do some very questionable things.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all about evolving.
Yeah, I know that.
Now, getting back to the question of they've not given us all of the knowledge or the wisdom, I would have to agree with that because there are some things that I've asked Morne Phaseus,
Mm-hmm.
or Phaseus when he was alive, that they said we weren't ready for. So therefore they weren't answered. However, I have no doubt that the collective consciousness of humanity has the ability to tap into this knowledge and this wisdom when we most need it. And that we wouldn't necessarily have to get it from any particular group or race. That we have the ability to tap into the consciousness which we know as God and get this knowledge and this wisdom for ourselves.
Yeah.
I believe that. I truly do. However, that would take humanity to have to do some introspection.
Yeah.
To be able to step out of our day-to-day stresses of surviving, our day-to-day stresses of worrying about the safety of our children and being able to feed our own families, to pay our rents, to pay our mortgages, to pay the electric bill, to do all those things so that we could just focus on just being really, really quiet within ourselves and saying, what do I really want? What makes my heart move?
Yeah.
Am I really, truly living my passion for life? Am I doing, is my job what I really want to be doing with my life? Those kind of things.
Yeah, I know.
Most people don't even bother to stop and ask themselves those questions. And then, years later from now, they're very angry, and they look at their life and say, my God, I just wasted it, and many people who have a lot of material things get to that place because they have all the toys, and they realize they're not happy.
Yeah.
And that's because it wasn't about the toys at all.
Exactly.
It's about nurturing the soul and knowing what the soul wants. And, only me, your girlfriend, Audra, we can only answer that question ourselves.
Yeah, I know that.
You can't go to a psychic and have them tell you.
Yeah.
No, you can't throw the tarot cards, and the tarot cards are going to tell you that kind of information.
No,
they won't know.
Actually, they won't.
Or the runes, or the chicken bones, or whatever.